Let me tell you a story Jung once shared. A woman came to him and said softly, "I've finally met my soulmate." Her eyes glowed with that unmistakable light, the kind that appears when we believe we've found what our heart has been searching for. She spoke with breathless certainty. "He's unpredictable, mysterious, impossible to reach. When he pulls away, I feel like I'm dying. But when he comes back, I've never felt more alive." Jung listened quietly. He didn't interrupt. He simply asked in a calm voice, "Who first made you feel that way? Him or your father?" The room went silent. Her lips trembled. Then tears. In that instant, she understood. She wasn't in love. She was in repetition. The same ache that once defined her childhood had returned, only now it wore the face of a lover. The same absence that once broke her was now disguised as destiny. That day, she didn't lose love. She found truth, the beginning of her healing. So how do we know if the person we love is truly meant for us, or if they're simply the echo of our deepest wound disguised as destiny? In the next 3 minutes, you'll begin to see what Jung called fateful love, and how it feels completely different from the emotional storms we've mistaken for passion. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to hear may not comfort you, but it will set you free. Before we continue, take one small, symbolic action. Subscribe, not as a favor to me, but as a promise to yourself that you're ready to see clearly, because the energy you bring now shapes what your heart will receive next. Jung once said that the soul does not seek what is pleasant, it seeks what is familiar, because in the familiar lies the key to our healing. The soul, he taught, is not magnetized by love itself, but by healing. We are drawn again and again to people who carry the same energy, the same emotional texture as the wounds we have never resolved. That's why some relationships feel strangely fated, as if you've known the person your entire life. But you haven't met before. Your pain has. You call it chemistry. Your nervous system calls it recognition. The man who pulls away at the very moment you open your heart feels like the father who went quiet when you needed him most. The lover who gives you just enough to keep you hoping feels oddly comforting, because once, as a little girl, crumbs were the only proof of love you received. The soul is not cruel for recreating these patterns. It's wise. It's trying to hand you back the same wound, so that this time you can choose differently, so that you can finally stay where you once abandoned yourself. But most of us don't see it that way. We mistake intensity for connection, familiar suffering for destiny. We confuse repetition with fate and call our pain proof that it must be love. Yet every time we meet another person who triggers the same ache, life is whispering, "Are you ready to respond differently now?" Because the moment you stop chasing the one who withholds, the moment you stop begging for the love you already deserve, you break the pattern. And that's when something miraculous begins. Your soul starts attracting from peace, not from pain. Jung believed that every heartbreak is an invitation to bring light into the place where you once hid your truth. The people who trigger you most deeply are not punishments. They are portals. And once you step through them with awareness, you will realize that what you were truly searching for was never them, it was wholeness. Jung said that not all intensity is destiny. Sometimes it's unhealed history. We grow up believing that love should feel like fire, that the louder the emotion, the truer it must be. But intensity isn't always connection. Sometimes it's a flashback, a reenactment of old pain that your body still remembers. Wounded love feels like a storm. You can't breathe without it, but it never lets you breathe freely either. It keeps you gasping, waiting, hoping for the next moment of calm. It's the anxious waiting, the long silences that twist your stomach. It's the way you analyze every word, every emoji, every pause. It's the constant proving, trying to be enough, say enough, give enough so that they finally stay. And when they notice you, you soar. When they pull away, you crash. That rise and fall feels intoxicating, because it is. This kind of love releases adrenaline, not peace. It's not passion, it's survival chemistry. Your body thinks it's back in the same war where love had to be earned. But fateful love feels different. It doesn't come to thrill your nervous system. It comes to calm your soul. It feels quiet, not empty, but sacred. It doesn't ignite chaos. It creates safety. It doesn't make you lose yourself. It helps you find yourself again. Fateful love doesn't make you wait in uncertainty. It meets you with clarity. It doesn't demand you perform. It invites you to rest. It's familiar, not in the way your pain is familiar, but in the way truth feels familiar. As if something deep inside you finally exhales and whispers, "Yes, this is what love was always meant to feel like." No racing heart, no overthinking, no fear of loss. Just presence, just peace. Jung believed that love, in its highest form, isn't meant to excite the ego. It's meant to awaken the soul. It's not supposed to make you smaller or unstable or desperate. It's supposed to bring you home, to yourself, and then to another. That is the quiet revolution of real love. It doesn't set you on fire. It teaches you how to stop burning. Let's take a moment to recognize the difference between love that heals you and love that quietly hurts you while calling itself fate. Because if these signs sound familiar, your relationship might not be love at all. It might be a wound, dressed in romance. Sign 1. You live on emotional cliffs. One moment you're euphoric, floating on air, and the next, you're terrified of falling. You check your phone every few minutes, waiting for a message that never seems to come soon enough. You replay conversations in your mind, analyzing every word for hidden meaning. You call it passion, but what you're really feeling is anxiety. Your nervous system is stuck between hope and panic. And the cruel part is that chaos starts to feel normal, even addictive, because uncertainty is the rhythm you once learned as love. Sign 2. You idealize the other person. You don't truly see who they are. You see who you need them to be. You turn fragments into promises, silence into mystery, and inconsistency into depth. You build a fantasy around potential, not reality. You tell yourself, if I just love them enough, they'll finally become who I know they can be. But that knowing is often your projection, a mirror of the love you wish someone had once shown you. Sign 3. You disappear. Little by little, you start to vanish. You change your tone, your boundaries, your body language. You soften your truth so you won't scare them away. You begin to orbit around their moods instead of your own needs. And the scariest part? You call this compromise. But it's not compromise. It's self-erasure. If you see yourself in these signs, pause. This isn't punishment. It's your psyche showing you the old script you've been repeating since the first time you felt unseen. Life is offering you a chance to choose a different ending this time. To love in a way that doesn't require you to abandon yourself. Because real love will never ask you to disappear. It will ask you to return. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow, deep breath. Now, bring that person to mind, the one you love, or perhaps the one you just can't forget. Don't think about them. Feel them. Notice what happens inside your body when their face appears behind your eyelids. Do your shoulders tighten? Does your breath shorten just a little? Or do you feel your whole chest soften, as if your heart knows it can rest? Your body always knows the truth, even when your mind tries to explain it away. When you imagine their absence, what arises first? Peace or panic? If you feel peace, that's alignment. If you feel panic, that's attachment. Now imagine they text you. Notice your first reaction. Do you feel grounded, calm, steady, warm, as if you were already whole before they reached out? Or do you feel that rush of relief, like finally exhaling after holding your breath too long? Peace is the language of destiny. Relief is the language of addiction. Your nervous system remembers what your soul is still trying to unlearn. If love has always been unpredictable, your body will confuse uncertainty with excitement. But true connection doesn't make your chest tighten. It makes it expand. Love that's meant for you doesn't feel like performance or pursuit. It feels like belonging. It doesn't ask you to earn your place. It reminds you that you already have one. There's no begging, no bargaining, no counting the hours until they return your message. There's only the quiet knowing that this love does not require your anxiety to survive. If you close your eyes again and feel calm, stay there. That calm is your compass. It's the voice of your intuition, whispering, "This is what safety feels like." And if what you feel instead is that familiar ache, that trembling mix of longing and fear, don't shame yourself. Just know that your soul is showing you where it still hurts and where it's ready to heal. Because love that's truly meant for you will never make your body feel unsafe. It will make it feel like home. Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves." He believed that every person we meet is a mirror, some reflecting our light and others our shadows. The people who move us most deeply, the ones who awaken our longing, our jealousy, our anger, our desire, are rarely random. They are messengers from the unconscious, showing us the parts of ourselves we've not yet learned to love. The unavailable man is not just a heartbreak. He is a mirror of the part of you that still withholds your own tenderness, the part that says, "I'll rest when I'm loved," instead of, "I deserve rest now." The controlling partner reflects the part of you that's afraid to surrender, afraid to trust that life can hold you without falling apart. Their dominance is your hidden fear that without control, you'll be powerless. And the person who doesn't choose you mirrors the part of you that hasn't fully chosen yourself, the part still waiting for permission to believe you are enough. It's never about blame. It's about awareness. Because the moment you recognize the mirror, you stop fighting the reflection and start healing the image staring back. Most of us chase the mirror, believing that if the other person changes, we'll finally find peace. But peace doesn't come from changing them. It comes from changing the story they awaken in us. That's where fateful love begins. It begins when you no longer run from your own reflection. When you stop asking, "Why don't they love me?" and start asking, "What part of me still believes I am unlovable?" The mirror doesn't come to punish you. It comes to help you see. Because once you see, you can choose. Fateful love isn't the moment someone completes you. It's the moment you look into another's eyes and recognize yourself, not your wounds, but your wholeness. The moment you stop chasing the mirror and start healing the reflection, you finally meet love, not as longing, but as truth. Now let's take what I call Jung's 3-minute test. It's simple, but it's piercingly honest. You don't need anyone else for this, just you, your truth, and 3 quiet questions that never lie. Take a deep breath. let your shoulders drop. Now, ask yourself the first question. Question 1. Do I feel more peace or more anxiety in this connection? When you think of this person, does your body expand or tighten? Does your heart settle or race? True fate feels like calm expansion. You can breathe. You can be. Wound love, however, feels like constant tension. The endless waiting, the scanning for signs, the quiet panic that never really leaves. If peace is absent, your nervous system already knows the answer your heart doesn't want to say. Question 2. Can I be completely myself with this person? Not just your light, but also your shadow, your fears, your stillness. Can you show up raw, messy, imperfect, without fear of being too much or not enough? If you can't, then you're performing, not connecting. Love that's real doesn't require a costume. It asks for truth, not perfection. And if you must hide your depth to be loved, that love was never truly seeing you anyway. Question 3. Do we both grow, or does only one of us shrink? Real love involves both souls. It's not about one person leading while the other disappears. It's about two paths that intertwine without suffocating. Fateful love expands who you are. A wound demands that one of you becomes smaller so the connection can survive. Now, listen to your answers. If you felt peace, authenticity, and mutual growth, you're likely standing in alignment. But if anxiety, performance, and sacrifice echo louder, then this connection is sacred too, but not as a forever home. Some loves are meant to stay, others are meant to show you the truth about yourself. And that, too, is divine purpose, because the love that is meant for you will not test your worth, it will honor your wholeness. Here's what few are brave enough to admit. Not every person we love is meant to stay. Some souls enter our lives like storms, loud, sudden, unstoppable. They arrive to wash away everything that isn't real. They wake us up from our numbness. They break us open where we were once closed, and they remind us of feelings we didn't even know we had buried. These are the teachers we love, not because they stay, but because they transform. They show us where we still bleed, where we still abandon ourselves, and where our capacity to feel is far greater than our fear of pain. And when their purpose is complete, they go. Sometimes gently, sometimes like the tearing of a page you weren't ready to turn. But either way, they go. Their leaving isn't rejection, it's redirection. It's the universe's quiet way of saying, you have learned what you needed to learn here. They were never a mistake. They were medicine. Painful medicine, perhaps, but the kind that clears the infection so the soul can heal cleanly. We often confuse temporary intensity with eternal meaning. We cling, we chase, we beg for the story to continue, when in truth that chapter has already done its sacred work. The question isn't, why did they leave? The question is, will you honor what they taught you? Or will you keep trying to turn a lesson into a lifetime? Every connection has a purpose. Some are meant to build your life with you. Others are meant to rebuild your relationship with yourself. They mirror the wounds you forgot to look at, the strength you didn't know you had, and the love you were always capable of giving yourself. So, when someone leaves, bless them. Don't chase what has already completed its task. Instead, ask, what part of me did they awaken? What truth did they reveal? What gift did they leave behind? Because when love departs, it doesn't take everything with it. It leaves behind the wisdom that allows your heart to love more consciously next time. When it's truly fateful love, something inside you knows. It doesn't announce itself with chaos or urgency. It arrives quietly, like sunrise spilling into a room that was always meant to hold the light. You'll recognize it through 3 unmistakable signs. First, emotional safety. In this kind of love, you feel seen, even in your silence. You no longer need to perform, to prove, to convince. Your presence is enough. They understand your pauses as much as your words. You can breathe around them, really breathe, because you know that even when you are quiet, you are still felt, still valued, still loved. With fateful love, you stop explaining your worth because it's already understood. There's no need to chase validation when recognition feels this natural. Second, peaceful intensity. It's not dull, but it's steady. It doesn't burn. It glows. The connection is alive and electric, but it doesn't drain you. It fuels you. You feel excitement without fear, closeness without suffocation, commitment without control. The energy between you doesn't demand constant attention. It simply exists, quietly powerful, like a heartbeat. And third, growth without losing yourself. This love expands you. It doesn't ask you to shrink, to silence your truth, or to trade your dreams for peace. It celebrates your evolution. It challenges you, but never breaks you. You find yourself becoming more you, not less. Fateful love doesn't come to fix you. It comes to honor you. It doesn't complete you. It complements the wholeness you've already built. This love doesn't arrive when you're searching desperately for it. It appears when you've finally learned to stand comfortably in your own light. When you've made peace with your solitude. When you've forgiven your past. That's when fate steps forward, not as a rescuer, but as a reflection of the peace you've created within. And when it comes, you'll know. Not because it makes your heart race, but because for the first time your heart feels still. That stillness is destiny recognizing itself. Here's Jung's beautiful paradox. You only meet your fateful partner when you no longer need them to heal you. It sounds unfair, doesn't it? That the love we've been searching for appears only when we stop searching. But this is one of life's quiet mercies. Because when you've learned to comfort yourself, you stop confusing chaos with passion. You stop mistaking emotional roller coasters for romance. You no longer chase people who make you anxious just to feel alive. When you've learned to love your own depths, you stop craving validation from someone who cannot see theirs. You begin to choose differently, not from emptiness, but from overflow. Fate doesn't reward longing, it rewards readiness. When you are whole, you attract wholeness. When you are peace, you draw peace. Because love, real love, is not a rescue mission. It's a recognition. It's 2 souls meeting not to complete one another, but to celebrate the wholeness they've already found within. That's the secret most love stories never tell. They show the falling, the chase, the ache, but not the stillness that follows when 2 people meet without needing to fix each other. The paradox of destiny is this: you do not find the one by searching the world, you find them by becoming the person who no longer needs saving. Because the moment you stop waiting for love to heal your wounds, you make space for love that doesn't hurt to hold. And that is when fate quietly knocks on your door. Tonight, before you fall asleep, ask yourself one quiet question. Am I chasing someone to feel worthy, or am I becoming someone who already is? Because the love that's truly meant for you will never make you anxious. It will not confuse you, and it will never ask you to beg for clarity. It will meet you where you are healed, not where you are wounded. It will speak the same language as your peace, not the dialect of your fear. The right love doesn't arrive to test your value. It reflects it. It doesn't demand that you prove your worth. It reminds you that you already have it. You'll recognize it not by the fireworks, but by the stillness that settles inside you. Your heart won't race. It will rest. Your mind won't spin. It will soften. And your soul will whisper, "This is what safety feels like." We've been taught to chase passion that burns, but not peace that lasts. Yet Jung would tell you, the greatest sign of true connection is the quiet knowing that you don't have to lose yourself to be loved. So tonight, when the lights go out and your thoughts start to wander toward them, breathe. Place a hand on your heart, and remember, you are not waiting to be chosen. You are learning to choose yourself so that love can finally recognize you. Because when the right soul arrives, it won't ignite your chaos. It will recognize your calm. And you'll know it's real, not by the intensity of the butterflies, but by the peace in your chest. That peace is love finally coming home.